Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl. Woo.
It's really hot.
I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Toodaloo.
Alright, on to the story. On to the beautiful story of Fontaine. Driving my sanity up the wall. I do have to talk to all these people. Because if I don't, I won't get the tiny rewards that I may or may not get from them.
Seems like the stories
can't
here
remember if I
never
talked
have
to
a
you or
happy
not.
ending.
Happy ending? Well, a lot of Genshin players could use a happy ending, since they're probably very lonely. Cornel.
I can't wait to see
Why
how
do they
this
have
turns
names
out.
if I can't talk to them?
It needs a more romantic touch here.
Oh my... Well, that explains that. That didn't happen. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. And most of the stories here don't have happy endings. Spent a lot of time in the theater. Okay. Performances, tragic endings. Sounds pretty upsetting. I don't think there was anything else. I see. You have nothing interesting to tell me. What about you, Cornel? Quite curious as to how this will end. I mean the end of a play, of course. Or, well, there are some cases that have gone into session several times with no result. To be honest, they seem all the same to me. But does it matter, really? A criminal is a criminal. Someone who's done wrong. Any case involving them is sure to become a talking point regardless. And I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm never going to touch the law's bottom line. Besides, watching trials is a way of studying the law as well. Hello, dear human. I was just considering a problem a moment ago, so I almost didn't notice you. Of course you can. I was wondering how humanity came about. We Melizuians were born of Elnas, so I've often been wondering how did the first human in this world come to be? Were they born from flesh and blood like we were, or were they created in some other way? Yes, give me that chest. Oh, is that so? Never mind, it's just one of those thoughts that cross my mind. You know, there are so many things in this world that we Melusians are unable to understand. I'm used to it. Still, thank you. Please take this small souvenir. Wait, is that a weapon? Masterpiece is over to... No, that's not a weapon. I'll take it. This section here and this bit here, I feel that more romantic elements need to be added here to allow the readers to experience the emotions within. Mr. Arnim, please allow me to remind you that adding romantic descriptions does not mean adding a few personal opinions too many to the text. We are here to draw inspiration from cultural performances from other lands, not to mutate their stories with our personal sentiments. Tisk tisk, what did I expect of a writer of deductive novels? Of course you know nothing of poetic beauty. A poem that is to be recited, whether romantic or ironic, must have pulse with an emotional rhythm. I have a feeling that you are simply avoiding the crux of the issue here. You cannot answer my questions directly, then at least don't add on whatever you please, whenever you please.
I think the
Nice. Useless information. Is that a Marcotte? Or, yeah, it's a Marcotte.
Go! Huh?
Allow me to guess. The next one should be a trial. Hello, I'm a traveling scholar from Sumeru and not a local. Pleased to meet you. I don't know how much you know about Fontaine, but I'm still in the process of understanding it myself. You see, Sumeru is a nation ruled by scholars, while Fontaine is a nation led by judges, and their social structures are immensely different. Not a bad research direction, eh? That's my view as well, and I think so even now. Still, I must say that the events that have occurred in this opera house have really given me pause. Who would have thought that trials and theater could occupy the same space? This would have been inconceivable in Sumeru. But if you think about this another way, the causes of this situation would also serve as a good research topic. Nice, give me that chest. It's okay. Thoughts are supposed to be exchanged through communications, no? Thank you for talking to me. Let me see. I only have some food brought from the court of Fontaine. If you don't mind, please accept it as a greeting gift. Fish and chips? Woo! Archons, please grant us a healthy and wise child. Well, I wouldn't ask for intelligence or talent, but please may our child live a peaceful life. Honey, is it just me, or did you ask for more than I did somehow? Shh, you'll jinx it. Also, what's so excessive about asking that our child grow up well? That's not what I'm saying, it's just in light of that prophecy. Alright, that's true. But it's just a legend and not something that will happen for sure, right? It's just a legend. Nothing is plain in stone. Offerings to the Fountain of Lucine. Offer the hydro sigils. Oh. I found what the hydro sigils are for. You can throw the hydro sigils you obtain across Fontaine into the Fountain of Lucine outside the Opera Eclipse to raise its level and obtain valuable rewards. Good to know. Valuable, you say? Will my career end before it could even begin? I'm fine. I mean, thanks for asking, but I suspect that only I can solve this problem of mine. I'm a gestionnaire, and I'm new here at the Palais Meromene. I've been assigned to perform some simple legal work here. That said, though, I'm a bit of an introvert, and I'm not exactly used to a job like this where I'll need to talk to lots of people. Monsieur Nublit happened by me the other day, and seeing that I looked like I wasn't doing too well, he clapped a hand on my shoulder and gave me a few comforting words, but he just made me even more nervous. Thanks for the suggestion. You're a good person, just like Monsieur Nublit. I'm new here, and this is my first job. While my superior seems to have high expectations for me, he hopes that I will bring some youthful vigor to the rather lifeless Palais Merimonia, and I don't see myself working up the courage to refuse. If only I had known, I would have switched jobs with Yon, who only recently joined as well. He seems like a much cheerier sort than I. I don't even think that's how it's said. I don't even think that's how his name is spelled. I just literally just said whatever. Fuck it. I wonder where I might purchase an ornament similar to Lady Farina's watch. The famous Lady of the Lakes tier, of course. It's exquisite and small enough to be set upon a ring. That is why it was given that name by Lady Farina herself. As her most ardent follower, perhaps I might shorten the distance between myself and my god by finding an accessory as much like it as possible. Our beautiful Hydro Archon, her superb makeup, her gentle voice, her agile dance steps, are they not worthy of a greater, more luxurious stage?
Who else deserves to take the stage more than Lady Farina?
I think she has something else to say. You have something else to say? Not to worry, this was never going to be easy anyway, but I shall not give up. You will never give up! Never surrender! Only then shall you know true pain! Okay.
Phew.
Gonna get those rainbow roses for my Linny! Woo! Give me my rainbow roses. Do-da-do-da, ba-ba-da-da. Do-do-do-do.
Go!
Who else do I need to talk to? These children? No. This person hanging over by the garden? No. The person in the sky? No. You? No. What about you two? No, they're having a wonderful conversation. Don't want to get in between that. Maledare! Sir, ma'am, I wish you a good morning, afternoon, and evening. My name is Maledare, a researcher with the Fontaine Research Institute. I believe the two of you are here to witness the Icewind Suite. According to Mr. Bose's original plan, Copius and Compella are clockwork mecha dedicated to the art of dance. But after I took over the project, I also added in some of my understanding of Kunomia. So as you can see, not only are they good at dancing, but they are also highly capable fighters. However, I believe that there's still much room for improvement. We require large amounts of experimental data to further increase their combat prowess. I might have gotten too passionate during the development phase, and from that came two different combat modes for Coppelius and Copella, based on the differences between Punoma and Oshia. They are Dirge of Copella and Nemesis of Copellus. That is to say, we'll need 2 times the research data. As long as we can iterate on them smoothly, the joy of our success will be doubled. And the coming of that joy now rests upon your shoulders, brave warrior. The coming of this, mere battle is on your shoulders. The fate of the world is destined on your hands. What do you say, bold sir? Would you be willing to join our machines in their dance? No, I'm good. I'm good. Wait, there's 2 different fights? No, I'm good. The dance floor is always open for you. I'll fight them some other day. Some other time. Some other place. I mean, I have ways to fight them anyway. Rimbados! Rainbow Road, baby! Let's go! I got trapped. Hello there, is there anything the matter? I can help you with it, so long as it doesn't involve performances. I should have chose the top option. Not that per se, I'm just not all that interested in operas, plays, or magic, and the like. Speaking of which, I was only sent here because when asked, do you like theater, I answered no. I suppose they don't want guards posted here to be distracted by performances or trials, so we do need to focus on work after all. It's just a metaphor. Since the Hydro Archon would be present, we usually add some dramatic elements like those found in plays. But the trials themselves are legitimate. Thanks to the Chief Justice and Ortress's just verdict, every trial will come to a successful conclusion.
No 2 cases are alike. The detail.
Now, 2 cases are alike. The details guide the story. Well, we'd need to analyze each case in detail, but I do have a personal prescription. If Lady Farina comes personally and looks excited, then the case itself might not be important, but there must be something incredible about it all the same. Though even if there is no such thing, she will whip up drama of her own accord. And if the Chief Justice personally presides over the trial, then it's almost certainly worth paying attention. It will certainly be more newsworthy, that's for sure. But such cases aren't very easy to report on. In fact, some of them involve information blackouts. Okay. Anything else? No. No. No, you don't. Yes, sirree.
Huh? Go!
Welcome to Opera Epicless, a sanctum for the richest of experiences. The insipid, the absurd, the shocking, and the sorrowful. So long as you visit enough times, you will be able to experience all this at the Opera Epicless. Some people enjoy watching the emotions involved in real cases, while others prefer the interpretations and hype involved in theater productions. Folklores, the Hydro Archon, recognizes them both as things that may be performed at the Opera House. The Opera Epicless was founded by the Hydro Archon, the Lady Farina of which we speak, and should not a place built by a god, not by God, be named a sacred place, a sanctum.
Huh?
Sure. Name it whatever the hell you want. Oh my goodness. I'm going to read this bulletin board. Rules of the Opera Epicless and announcements pertaining to the Opera Epicless, not for other usage. I'm going to continue reading. In accordance with the relevant laws and regulations, visitors must be properly dressed when entering the Opera Epicless. I would hope so. Should your attire not meet the prescribed standards, staff members have the right to refuse your entrance. Oh, wow. Hello. Oh.
And voila!
Hello. Flowers for Lenny. How many do you need?
1 client, 2 clients, 3 clients.
Mine's currently at, let's see, 40. I need one more to get him to 50. $16 more. Leave me 1 so I can get
Billy Turl, silly Billy Hilly Turl. Woo!
Leave me 1 so I can get 50 please. Actually, just take me to 1. Actually, just take me to 1. Just take me to 1. Just take me to 1. Okay.
Phew.
I did grab a few. I need 1. One's here, gone. Okay. Yes. No, I'm not trolling. No, I'm not trolling you. Not trolling you. I only grabbed a few. I have yet to explore most of... Where did you go? Hello? Oh, you're over here. I only grabbed... Ah, okay.
Go!
There's one.
Huh?
There we go. You may take 16 as you said you need. If there is
Silly
16.
churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly
You may take 16 as you said you need if there is 16 left.
Phew. Huh?
Thank you. Don't mention it. Alright, back to what I'm doing.
Phew.
I was reading a billboard till someone decided to jump into my world. I can't even read it.
Welcome
Right.
to the Opera Epiclave.
I can go in the cutscene though. Is there a treasure chest anywhere nearby? I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing one. Would be an interesting place for a chest. Is the water. Yeah, no. Nope. Don't be a dumbass. Just continue the journey.
Huh?
Where is this supposed to lead? Is it above or below? No, that's below. It's not above. This is a nice location. Totally won't use this area for like some fight or something. I bet there's a chest on the top of the house. I have an inkling feeling. I want to be wrong because I bet I am, because most of the chests are probably in the water this time around. Since, you know, Fontaine, the home of water. We can't have chests on the ground because that's against the contracts. Ah!
Jackpot.
Alright. Let's see here. I'm betting there's one on top of here. There has to be. It's just a great place to put one. If Hoyoverse didn't put one up here, they're idiots. Or I'm an idiot. One or the other. I mean, there's gotta be a way up here. Yeah. There we go. Okay. I'm not seeing a chest. This would have been a perfect place to put a chest, dude. Like, yes, they technically did put it on the house, but not to the tippity top. What is that thing? Oh wait, no, I know what that thing is. Why'd you put one so high up there? That's a hydroculus. Why do I have to go up there? Damn it! You don't have to go up there. No one has to go up there. But you know, it's a hydroculus. There's 120 of them. I have to go grab them. You know, looking at this definitely looks upside down. What is that place? Alright, I got that one. Alright, yeah, there's not another one up here. To the waters! And we go back to reading the bulletin board. No, I did not intentionally do that. Actually, I did. 100% did. Alright. I can't read the bulletin board because I'm in co-op. Gonna leave. Alright. Nice. Award ceremony, the La Verite Prize. Intro, the La Verite Prize, organized by the Steambird and the most prestigious and famous media award in all of Tevat, is used to recognize and commemorate the greatest individual and collective achievements in media, including newspaper, magazines, journals, and other media fields. At Lady Farina's insistence, Lady Farina has been specially invited as a guest of honor, and will personally award the prizes to the winners. Don't miss it. Stage play, the death of Aurelius? Yeah. As the Black Day draws near, Aurelius fell, and the whole world trembled. Intro, the third and final part of the Aurelius trilogy of plays, based upon the epic legend, the Saga of Aurelius. Go back to the final moments of a hero's life and witness the dying light of an ancient empire. Magic Show, Great Magician's Night of Fantasy, starring Linny. Intro, a magical magic show performance by the great magician Linny, bringing you a night of miracles and fantasies. A brand new water tank escape trick will be debuting, so don't miss it. Concert, Marusa Village Nights, performed by the Melusine Philharmonic Orchestra. You know how to play instruments? Performance pieces, Epic of Elnius, experts, ode to judges, experts. Look, I'm judging them being able to play instruments because the elephant girl from the boat ride basically said their hands are weird and they can't play instruments. So the fact that this is telling me they can is actually making me not even believe this bulletin board. Intro. The Milesian Philharmonic Orchestra is a renowned Fontainian orchestra. It's especially notable for being entirely composed of Milesian musicians. Pieces for this performance will be broadly divided into two sections. The first half will feature excerpts from the opera Epic of Elinas, while the second will be a hymn sung by the chorus. Objection! Why does this performance include no hymn to the Archon? We must strongly protest this. It is blasphemy and should be judged. Note, in accordance with a special request from a certain member of the audience, the entirety of Farina's Benevolence has been added to the set list. Please do not leave the venue prior to the end of the show. Public trial performance. Public trial against the serial burglars of the Court of Fontaine. Intro. The subjects of this collective trial concerns two members of a gang of burglars. The Mason Gardiennage accuses the aforementioned gang of being related to multiple burglaries within the Court of Fontaine, as well as being suspected of the crime of impersonating others. The investigation discovered that the gang was responsible for a string of burglaries at various locations throughout Fontaine. The two thieves were unable to decide how to split their spoils and finally decided to use a duel to settle the matter. In light of the risk of conducting a private duel and worried about their identities becoming known to the authorities, the two gang members chose to appropriate the identities of others to apply for their duel. The Mason Gardiennage discovered that the identities they chose to use were those of prisoners currently serving sentences within the fortress of Meropide. The two suspects were arrested and questioned, and during the course of the questioning, their other criminal activity was uncovered. The final verdict, the Eudus and the Ortrus Analis Cardinal judge that the two defendants are guilty of multiple counts of the crime of burglary and will be sent to the fortress of Meropide to serve their sentences. Oh no. Okay. Hello. This is my own fault. But it's fine. It makes this more interesting. You know, when I'm able to hang out with strangers. Hello. Hi. Anything you need?
Wanna come over for tea?
Anything you need? Lynette material. Oh, Lenny's off the table.
Billy Turl,
Lenny.
silly Billy,
Nice.
Billy Turl, silly Billy,
That's adorable.
Billy Turl.
They're literally both doing freaking dance at the same time. Lenny's mats are gone. Lynette's should still be here. Should still be here.
When the sun's out, bathe in sunlight. But when the moon's out, bathe in moonlight.
Oh. Sorry for bugging it.
Silly
You didn't even give me a minute to respond, guy.
Silly Billy,
okay.
Hilly Turl.
I never said you were bothering me. I plan to crush out Fontaine in one day. Welcome to join. What? You weren't bothering me. Dude, I don't like that. I mean, I was fine. Sure, yeah, I'm not. Wait a minute. No. Continue reading. Attendees must pick up their tickets after reserving them before entering the opera. All seating is assigned, and all audience members must sit in the seat designated on their Reserve tickets after being seated. Please follow all relevant rules and etiquette. Okay. In accordance with the relevant laws and regulations and to ensure the best viewing experience for all audience members, no outside food is permitted within the opera cliffs. Did I read this already? No. Visitors in violation of the rules will be expelled and punished by the Mason Guardianage in accordance with the law. Serious offenses will be prosecuted, brought to trial, and the offender sentenced in accordance with the law. Okay. Yeah, now I'm all caught up. Don't need to read that. Welcome to Opera Eclipse, a sanctum for the richest of rich experiences. I think I talked to you already. Yes, I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Very sure I did. Alright, to the Opera House. After I talk to H. Take a guess. Will Monsieur Nevelet preside over the next trial? Will Lady Farina make an appearance? Right, so he's our Chief Justice and the one who brought us Mezzalines to the court of Fontaine to live. He's always very busy with work and can only preside over some cases, and his subordinates in the Mason or Dale handle the rest. But no matter how busy he is, he will still greet us when he sees us, just as he's done for several hundred years now. Is there another option? Lady Farina is very lovely, like the soft sea foam reflecting the sunlight. But her temper is, well, she's hard to read. Sometimes she's like tempestuous waves, and other times like stagnant water in a deep pool. I guess gods have more intense emotions than humans, huh? To the Opera House! No, I'm not going to sing.
Traveler in Paimon, good to see you. I knew you two would come.
As it was fated.
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world. We've been looking forward to it.
I can tell, judging by how early you've arrived.
Early. Well, it is 3 days in the Fontaine. Yeah, 3 days? 3 or 4 days? Fontaine came out the 15th. It's the 19th. It's 4 days. Wait, no. See? It's the 18th. 3 days. 3 days. Alright, I'm right.
But you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started entering the venue yet, which means now is the perfect chance for us to take you to the best seats in the house.
The front row, right?
Wait just a moment. I'll fetch the tickets.
Where's the booth to buy tickets?
The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your seats, and here are your tickets.
Didn't you go over this way? How do you get back over here?
Ooh, front row seats. Thanks, Lenny.
Called that shit.
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep thanking me.
Hey, Lenny! Could you come over here and take a look at this?
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there. That's Cal, my assistant, calling me. I'll go lend him a hand.
Alright.
Yeah, we'll just go to our
Good luck,
seats.
Lenny.
You go ahead, Lenny. Go! Huh?
Wow, this place is huge. Where am I supposed to sit? I don't see any seats. Oh. These are some really bad seats.
Go!
Is there a prize under one of them?
Oh, these should be our seats. Come on, let's sit down.
Why is Neviette literally right next to us? Why? Just pretend like he doesn't exist, and yeah, you know, just wait for the show. Hey there, guy. You know, kind of peering over at me. I'm also peering over at you now, so this is now my problem.
Hey, Traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still.
Practically, you
It's
say.
kinda awkward if
it
we don't
is.
say anything.
Well, I mean, you talk for the entirety of the game. You can handle this. I don't want to talk to him.
You little... Of course you put this on Paimon.
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry.
Who said that? You know, it's fine, man.
I would be perfectly happy
There's
to
just
chat with you.
thousands of
if that is what
other
you would
seats
like.
you could be sitting in. Why sit? Well, he was already sitting down. Technically, I am in the wrong here. Well, it's reserved seating. You want to chat?
Oh, so you heard all of that, did ya? Boy, you sure have good ears.
He's
Paimon thought she
sitting
was
right
keeping
next
her
to
voice
us.
down.
Of course he heard everything.
Wait, that's not it. Paimon's sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. So let's talk, but...
Hey, good job, Paimon. You're the one that's talking, and
what
I
should
don't
we
have to
talk
do anything.
about? Oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you a friend of Linny's too?
A friend, you
Not
say?
a friend, no.
Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
He's one of the judges.
Oh, so you're not
Actually, I think
friends
he's the
with
only
Linny
judge.
then?
No, no.
This
There's a
is
couple other
getting more
judges.
awkward
Never mind.
by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you.
Arrived
two.
is such a
I have
short
heard of your
term
deeds across to that.
It's not actually true.
And as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Wait, Nervillet? Could he be...
Yes, he
I
is.
saw
Paimon.
you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Nervillet is.
What are the chances and what are the odds I'd be sitting next to him directly through all these other seats that I could have had for a reserved seating? No.
Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Whoa! Sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to, there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression.
It's not a first impression. We've already seen her.
So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
Yeah, Traveler, totally. Go talk to her before she literally puts you on trial for literally just talking to the judge. What are you laughing about?
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paimon can hardly wait! Paimon's never seen a real live magic show before!
My guess is it's not gonna be as great as I would hope. Crowds enter the venue and the curtains open for the show to begin. Lights!
Ooh! They're dimming the lights! The show must be starting!
A camera!
Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Yeah, you're in a theater. Shut the fuck up.
Welcome, one and all, to the
Action!
Opera Epicles. I am the star of today's show, Linny.
Wow, that was a late applause.
And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Let the shit show begin.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Wow, she doesn't even look excited whatsoever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today.
Alright, throw your vision out into the audience.
Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show.
What if that guy has
way,
a teeth?
even the gods
Literally
will
just
be
take that
able
shit
to
and run
help
away.
us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. I'm sure she'll be stealing the spotlight soon enough. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye.
Right, Lenny. So basically something already happened for misdirection, right?
A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless.
Cards are stuck to the top of that. Okay, I can't explain that.
But this isn't what you came for.
No.
These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make
Gigantic
my
jar.
sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes.
Okay, so how are
It's
we gonna
actually
get blamed
quite
for
simple.
this?
She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top.
That's what's supposed to happen. That's not what happens.
Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true
A
virtuoso
true
can do.
amateur. She's now naked.
Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
Wait, she had a spare set of clothing? Wait, so if this is not what we get blamed for, what is?
Whoa! What in the world just happened? How did he do that? Paimon didn't seem to do anything. Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then reappear out of nowhere?
Well, if you want to know Paimon, just look it up on YouTube.
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing!
Thank you,
You're just
everyone.
easily amused, Paimon.
I'm
That's the
glad you
problem.
enjoyed that performance. But our magical journey has only just begun.
There's another
I've
another
prepared
act?
even more astonishing surprises for everyone here. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen.
Alright, like...
I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all.
I would like to know where she got the spare change of clothing.
In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member.
Can it be any of the NPCs and totally not me?
Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here, and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap! Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box. Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow! How's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual superpowers?
We can figure out how he
The
does
lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random.
Bull.
Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate.
Bull. It's gonna choose the Traveler.
Now then,
Bull.
let's begin.
Absolute bull.
Oh,
Wow, it's the Traveler.
see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations!
Oh, I was wrong.
You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute.
Okay, thank you. Thank God I was wrong.
Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box.
Okay, again, how
I'm sorry, it
are we
might
gonna
be
get
a little
involved in
cramped
this?
inside, but no need to feel nervous.
That guy looks
We've
like a thief.
carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything, but no matter what
Why are they
strange
masked?
things may happen, don't come out of the box. If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meropide.
Oh, okay.
I don't. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I didn't have any plans for today anyway. You know, it's all great. It's whatever.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, there is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do. Could you all give me a countdown?
From 10, 3, 6, 7, 100.
Like this. 60, 59,
Going
58.
from 60.
Just
Damn.
keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slower if you like.
Yeah, Lenny, I'm not gonna count.
I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying on your voices to know when time is up. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh! Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that!
You want him to be in a tough spot? So basically, you want him to be injured.
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Let's practice together.
A whole
Come on,
60
repeat after
countdown.
me. 60, 59, 58.
It's like
That's
5
right,
people.
perfect. keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
54, 53, 52? Huh?
Slower, Paimon, jeez.
Why aren't you counting, Neverlet?
There's no reason to.
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is.
That's fair.
Merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just enjoy the show.
Oh, all right. You looked so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or something.
40, 39, 38! Mr. Lenny, are you all right in there? Is everything ready?
Yes, I'm fine, I'm just double-checking the direction of the magic. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, mid-air right above the audience.
Even though he's saying that,
Well, someone catches
Lenny
you, who
doesn't
cares?
seem nervous at all.
Well, that's not part of the show.
What was that noise? Did you hear it too?
I heard a gun.
Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like anyone's worried about it.
Yeah, they'll hear a gunshot and continue watching the show. Like freaking mesmerized, hypnotized idiots.
25, 24, 23! What's wrong,
That's why you can't have
Mr.
nice
Lenny?
things.
I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't tell left from right.
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what's important.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry, we still have 20 seconds. Hear them counting?
Actually, there's no one counting.
19,
Now there is.
18, 17!
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. I apologize, everyone. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do such a long countdown. 10 seconds and change is still plenty of time.
10!
Almost there now. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even
It's
a
already
master
done.
magician like me can't guarantee
And the
I'll
Dark
get it right
Magician!
the first time.
They swapped with the Dark
Hey,
Magician
wait,
girl!
Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7,
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5,
Is he the guy outside? No. Oh, wait.
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0!
Okay. Is he in there?
Ta-da!
Nope, I call bullshit. I call bullshit. This was a projection or a hologram. And that NPC should be in there, right? She's dead. Well, it's fine, right? It's just an NPC.
What happened?
Why are we getting blamed for this? How do we get blamed for this? Is my next question.
is this part of the show?
No, you dolt.
Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna use magic to fix this guy's dead body.
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show.
What gave you that
The girl
idea?
was still in that box, right?
She's dead.
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
What are you gonna try to help heal? They are
Yes,
flat as a
that's
fucking
right.
pancake.
If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of Justice.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough.
Okay, how do I get blamed for this? That is some major fucking bullshit.
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe.
Okay, well, what about the NPC?
Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowl in the box, rather than the guest from the audience.
Maybe the guest from the audience was Arlecano disguised as an NPC?
And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found.
Yep, that's probably Arlecano then.
It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance.
No.
And there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
Alright, that thing.
The serial disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing.
Can you really?
Really? Using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale. Did he really underestimate us that badly? I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linney, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
How do I get involved in
This
this?
all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not? Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a provocation, a bald-faced challenge.
That can't be right. How can Lenny do this?
I honestly don't think Lenny did this.
He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We can even hear his voice.
Right.
Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
It's hard to believe this
Save
all
discussion
happened
for a
during the
later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linney and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
I just think that I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is the opponent I'll be facing. That's right. I mean you,
What?
Traveler.
Why?
You'll
Why?
support Lenny,
This is
won't
bullshit.
you?
Why do you?
After
No,
all,
I
he
wasn't
was
involved.
the
I was
one who
sitting in
helped you
my
the first
fucking
time
seat.
we met.
No. Fuck you. I don't care. This is some bullshit.
Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel.
What
the
is with
first
your
time we
obsession
met.
when dueling with me? And literally, for false pretense on charges. Twice. Twice. Not
But
once,
with
twice.
Lenny's help,
The first one was on you. You don't have a
ended in
sign
draw.
outside sitting there saying you can't have a floating object
But
slash
draws
paimon
really
with
are
you
the most
when you're
boring
walking into the
possible
city.
Outcome. So, no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor than here, on the grandest of stages, the Opera Epiclese.
It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
You know, just let her.
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order.
Dude, you're okay with this? I was sitting right next to you. I'm literally fucking
Well,
innocent.
Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights.
This is some bullshit.
But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you, are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend him in this case?
I get to be an ace attorney? Alright, sweet.
Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House.
So I'm not in,
Both
so
sides
I'm
may
not
investigate
being
the
held
scene to
accountable
build
for
their
this.
cases and search for the
Let's
truth.
get that clear out of the way. I'm not being held accountable for this.
Linny and his troop are all potential suspects and shall remain within the Opera House.
No, he won't, because he's in my team.
The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot outlander can build in such a short amount of time. I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
Everyone is dismissed and the audience begins to leave along with Farina and Niblette.
Lenny!
Guess you're under house arrest, my friend.
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course!
Frightened, I just saw someone literally be crushed
that?
like a pancake.
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could
Does it
this
confirm
happen?
that he's dead?
And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer?
No.
Good to hear. Thank you so much for trusting me. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left is confusion.
Misdirection.
I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not.
Oh, it wasn't.
And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to figure out what they did. Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Yeah, it is very strange.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate! As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
Are you really wearing those glasses?
Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh?
No, take them off.
Don't worry. Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
Oh, thank God. Thank God for that.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self. But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence. Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that.
I was kind of put on the
We'll
spot.
be counting on you.
Yes, thank you so much.
I won't let you guys down.
Just leave it to us.
Fortunately, the giant jar did.
Oh, since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first. Where did Lynette go during the performance?
Good question.
Ah, well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted during the trial. 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured countless hours and spared no effort in perfecting it. But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
All right, let's go have a
Seems
look
easy
while
enough.
the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon is on the case.
Don't ever call yourself a detective.
Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
I get to be the ace attorney.
I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
I don't have a fucking choice.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal.
Okay, he's dead.
Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap.
No, they were burned by our volcano.
All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident
Case
was
set and
intentionally
closed.
planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
But he doesn't have a motive.
No, he really doesn't.
Are you both good friends of his?
Well, we've been friends for a little while.
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys.
Yes.
I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand. I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence.
But that's not always
Sorry,
true.
I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
What is this? A book? Case record. To confirm your current evidence and clue collection situation, sort case-related information. Check as yet undiscovered evidence and clues in the case record, then investigate the corresponding area to locate them. Yep, we're detectives. Well, you know what? Yeah, Paimon gets to be the detective. I get to be the ace attorney. Let's go! The deceased's identity. It was a man! Talk to the guards. Vaughn and Quentin.
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
See, I told you.
It was rigged!
What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying
called it.
about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Lenny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us, too.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Even though it's bad for Linny's case, Paimon had better write it down.
Yeah, write it in your little journal. Look for clues inside the opera house. Ismond.
Go ahead, have a look around. In the end, we're both after the truth.
No. Hey. A damaged magic box. Broken magic box was left on the scene after the guards completed their investigation. Looking at it now, the water tank must have struck it really hard. No fucking shit. The guy's dead. This is where the magic box was struck. Cal weren't inside the box at that moment. He might have dodged the falling water tank. If only that were what happened.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
Or
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler? Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material! Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left.
It's flammable.
Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait!
It was
Why don't
sabotaged.
you write all this down? Let's take notes!
Okay, a special rope. Can't talk to them. Maurice.
Hello there! What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Yeah, tell us who she is.
Sure. It's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troop members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us.
Yeah, if I see her running outside,
It is
I'll
of
let you
utmost
know.
importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Mission about the missing lady's identity. Can't talk to you. Can't talk to you. Can't leave.
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too. If you find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, alright?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Are you gonna sabotage my evidence?
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes,
The bang.
exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Lenny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank, or something like that. And
No.
when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
That doesn't make any sense.
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing.
Yeah, would it swing?
Oh,
it would
that's
swing,
true.
bro.
I suppose I must reconsider.
Amateur.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
The sound was someone literally falling onto the beam, and then they lit the fire. I'm already calling this out before we even get the information. Hello, would you like to talk? No? Can I examine this box? Looks like an ordinary box, but Lenny somehow moved instantly from the stage to being inside of it. How did he do it? Well, we'll find out, because technically this is a murder case now. Well, if you ever want to figure out a magic trick, just make sure it's a murder case, guys. That's how it goes. They cannot deny you of how you did the magic trick if it involved the murder. Molly. Okay. Hello, Molly.
Lenny's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright. Lenny's still talking to the guards. I think someone...
Can't talk to you, can't talk to you.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for a while now.
Hello.
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
No, I'm
Well,
not.
you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
A new character.
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula?
I haven't yet until now.
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
Okay, boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Well, I am the second generation president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
Which was?
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Oh, boss is your first name, Navi is your second. Okay.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula anyway.
I wouldn't want to be.
Merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand. That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too. That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Because it's Lenny.
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition.
Right. Can you see the future?
Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she? But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
I mean, she does jump to conclusions very fast, and she literally just is out to get me.
All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Wait a minute, did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
No.
Well?
And And why would that be?
Makes it so the truth can be skewed.
See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent. No matter how wonderful the
Mellis.
script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Malus. Anyway, I like your answer. You passed with flying colors. Now,
I do?
I need
What does
to make
that mean?
some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
I'm hired? Sweet.
Since when did we become assistants?
Just now.
Oh, well, I can be the assistant. Sure. Or your companion, if you like.
Well, that's
I'm
not
really
really how
not
that
that
works if
fussy.
you're our boss, technically.
That's more like it.
Alright, whatever floats your boat, Paimon.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. You wish to
wholeheartedly
save a
agree.
friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. Huh. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
Nah, he's just chill.
I have nothing to add.
Yeah.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Linny's tricks. Thanks!
Why, do you want to know? Wait. There's another one somewhere, right? We can't leave.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish
'Cause
to
you're all
leave, you must
suspects.
register your identity with us first.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case.
You could also be
Were you
suspects.
always guarding this entrance?
Yes, after the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection. So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on.
She could have.
I doubt there was much opportunity then either.
How can you be so sure?
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time.
Yeah, okay, and the person could leave from the roof.
I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post. And I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave. We Melusines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So,
Got some sixth
it's safe
sense,
to
huh?
say the girl couldn't have left through here. All right, thank you for your help. This will be useful info.
Alright, we added that.
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going.
Probably not very good.
Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
Oh, right.
Huh?
Going the wrong way.
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and will be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Yeah, the group is forming!
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Alright. Let's see how the trick is done.
Huh? Below stage?
No YouTube
Yes,
video
a
necessary.
world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here?
The floor.
I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board.
Okay.
So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
There's another box inside this one.
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
And they link to both boxes.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
But that didn't happen.
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
No one knows.
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
Wait, you walked out of the box at the end? What'd you put on, like... Okay.
And that's my
How
favorite
did that
part of this
work?
trick.
She's got,
Only
you know,
Lynette and I
this
can perform it.
I mean, they don't even look the same. That wouldn't work.
So that's how it all worked! Wow! Every detail you
Nope,
revealed
I'm not buying
was
it.
more amazing than the last!
Nope. Take your explanation and shove it.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
So really, Lynette can be blamed for this.
If not for that interlude,
really,
this
Winnie.
would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime.
Someone had to have known that the layout of the trick.
Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime. So Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
Alright, the magic trick. The onstage magic box structure. The audience side magic box structure. I'm now... Okay. Wait, I can investigate? Where? Control board. This should be the control device for the trolley. It seems to be able to operate automatically. Examine the ladder. The ladder is required in order to return to the magic box above.
Huh. What's this?
A hook.
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends
Why would you
here.
leave evidence on the ground?
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick.
Nah.
Why would it
Not
have been
buying
left
that.
here?
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Dropped hook rope. I'm not buying that shit.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
And a broken vase.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Oh, hi, my nose. It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear. And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
Broken flower vase. Let's see, clothing.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here.
Okay, where are her clothes?
She's nowhere to
Or where
be
is she?
found.
Where is she? Is she naked? Again, I have to ask this: is she naked, or did she walk out as a different person?
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them?
I would hope to God not.
Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
And take your freaking glasses off. And leave it to the ace attorney here. So, my opinion is a person was in disguise from the get-go, and I really think it was Arlecano. I'm still going by that. The hook there. Nothing over here. Nope, you got the tracks. High precision is required to complete this magic show, and tracks are perfect for making the trolley stay on its designated course. Let's see. Storage boxes. All kinds of props and costumes are haphazardly stuffed inside. I don't think there's any more clues. Trolley is crucial for transporting the magic box to the other side. The culprit must have used this to execute their plan. There's a duct here.
What is this place?
It's a vent.
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the
That's not the
space would be
case.
too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down.
Alright, and so Lenny and Lynette were both in the magic boxes at that time. Tunnel vent. The NPC.
Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes.
Alright.
Let's head back up.
Seems easy enough.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no
someone's
one was
lying.
found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
I guess so.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Alright, well, let's make sure they're not held guilty.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
A death sentence,
That's
yep.
right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the oratrice will hear statements from both sides. That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the oratrice as a reference. Then, finally,
Man, I can't wait to
the
pull her.
oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Where is her geo freaking vision?
Huh?
Oh,
So
there it is.
that machine is the one that actually decides? I'm on that Neverlet called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case.
I mean, we could.
And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa, whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Of course.
Really?
I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is
She'll be
not in
happy
the
with what
cards,
she
nor
gets.
is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too.
It actually sounds good.
I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all. Just kidding, just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
Good.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh? Here? But how?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
What, do you have a portable freaking kitchen?
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
I guess I was right.
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Take
Good
eggs.
work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
These three are quite the interesting group.
It's a spina de rosa thing. Now they methodically handles the ingredients and pulls fresh macaroons.
And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling. From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I was applauding.
And I
was
was giving
applauding.
encouraging smiles.
Paimon was just thinking, aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks. Don't underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway,
Oh, macarons
give
are not
these a
good
try.
for you.
Fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Only 3?
Yes, only 3.
Well, eating too many sweet treats might
Could have
send all
4.
that sugar to your head.
Since 4 is a big number in this
You wouldn't
game.
be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
Sugar rush? Hell yeah. And get all the answers wrong. Put Lenny and Lynette in jail. Put them onto the death sentence. Realize I was not capable enough to actually do this. Sounds like a plan.
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite, strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit. No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Lenny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
Right. Missing girl and the
The
deceased.
flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Or hear me out. The person switched their. So Cowell's still alive, but the real person who died was Halsey, but her clothes were placed onto, or his clothes were put on Halsey, and that's why her clothes were completely on the ground. And he took one of the other outfits that were available down there, and then when no one was looking, he left the box.
Paimon thinks that makes
That's
sense,
my guess.
but the real trouble is...
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person, but the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowell.
Nah, Cowell's probably to blame.
Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowell before making her escape?
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she
that
have
doesn't
any
work.
motive. The
Like,
guard
Hal
said that
knew
she
the
has never
trick.
had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
That's the problem.
Were we not thorough enough in our search?
No, we have the answer.
From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case.
No, it's not.
Your macarons are amazing, though, Navia. They smell great. They're nice and crisp and super sweet.
They are my specialty, after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
Thought there was only 3.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3. Honest.
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
It's fine if you ate them. You ate them.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
That's gonna lead to kidney stones, Paimon.
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal. Malus, set up the stove again if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Where do you keep that, in your pocket?
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
Navia does a second round of baking over the stove. However, the discussion...
Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area.
Alright.
I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again.
Will
It
do.
would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
Alright, thanks for your help, and for
Or we
the
could just
snack.
bring Ace Attorney Phoenix right into this bitch and have it solved pretty damn fast.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Probability of third person being involved. Wait until the trial
It's
on
time
the
to put our
following
heads together.
day.
We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
Paimon's notes are worthless. Eat the next day. Wait a minute. Okay, the thing in the back still is moving and spinning. I was about to say. Participate in the trial. Oh, hey, look, a viewpoint. Is there a chest up here? Is there a Quinky Dinky chest up here?
Go!
No. No, there's not. Not a single person in here.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing. Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands.
And we're being judged inside the room where the freaking crime took place. That's not suspicious enough?
Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
I'm here to defend my client, Linny, for the crimes against Halsey.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
I came up dry.
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence, but don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session.
Okay.
Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linny explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Linny clearly reveals the details of the magic trick everyone in the audience is stunned.
Thank you, Mr. Linny. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linny is clearly lying.
No,
There
he's
is
not.
no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud.
Yes, there
One
was.
so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
I would be very concerned if they didn't.
Huh?
You didn't hear it?
Hang on. Something's not right here.
How could Linny not know about that sound? Because it didn't come from the boxes.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
They represent the trial.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
House of the Hearth? What does that have to do with any of this?
The House of the Hearth?
Oh, they're Fatui?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
Oh, well, this is not looking good for you, Linny. Or Lynette.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it.
Alright, let's think.
The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny, why didn't you tell us this before?
Well, we probably wouldn't have wanted to be friends with them. Linny and Lynette are Fatui.
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
They're both correct. There's no doubt about Magician's ability to con others. Given how Linny has concealed his identity, this could all have been set up beforehand. Plus, Child is here in Fontaine along with other house operatives. There must be some scheme at work here. I've been a victim of such schemes before, and now...
Please answer my question, Mr.
Come on,
Linney.
let's freaking come up with an answer.
I'm sorry.
No, we don't give up here. No, we never give up.
Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
Shit.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
No! The fuck?
What should we do now?
Fucking rebuttal!
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
I request a brief adjournment. There are things that must be
Is
discussed.
that really necessary?
Yes, time
They're
out.
already as good as guilty.
Now, shut up.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say!
Thank you.
Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
1 hour? That's a long time. Okay.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Alright, explain.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two.
Yeah, we were like freaking close friends, right? Like right at the gate.
We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
That's probably believable, because I've encountered the ones in the chasm and they weren't dangerous.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends.
Very true.
That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
Yeah, you could just be lying to us again.
So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
I believe you.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
I do.
You both say that, but
Where did you actually go while the trick was being performed?
right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
For what purpose?
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
Okay, so the bang and the thud was you.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room.
But you weren't.
That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought.
And the reason why you didn't hear it is because you were in the back. You were at the core, so you couldn't hear it.
After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
So you weren't in the box the whole time. So this is definitely going to be a lot harder to actually freaking deign that he is not actually guilty.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's fair.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Nope, I'm not leaving.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
I believe.
Okay, thank you.
I'll defend you guys.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two.
Don't mention
If
it.
we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Honestly, 100%. We do have evidence.
Huh?
The German's over, let's go back.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Lenny's statement. The voice in the Orchard's core chamber.
Huh?
Wait, what room is this? It's like a waiting room? There's no chest in here.
Go!
Continue the drow.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
Ugh, that took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention at this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
That seems fair. Based on the opposition account of events, you can identify loopholes in their statement. Use evidence and clues obtained during the investigation to refute any erroneous assertions of fact and replace them with new inferences. Use your refutations to convince the audience and obtain more support from the people. The Orchardist will display such shifts clearly. When you find and refute all incorrect content, you can complete the cycle of refutation and unveil the truth.
As as the countdown began, he entered the tunnel.
Okay, that's true.
When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud.
That's a lie.
He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Lenny red-handed.
No.
So Lenny proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box.
That wouldn't
Afterward,
work.
Lenny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
No.
Does the
not.
defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Lenny experienced, and what he saw.
Wow. Zach is speaking. Alright. Identify the loopholes. This one right here. My review is... Wait. When he entered the tunnel as the countdown began. Yep. Actually, no. He did not so, no, it's literally just refutes this entire freaking thing just by literally saying that Lenny claims that he headed to the chamber.
Seems this won't produce a particularly...
Okay. Can this be so is this the one that it refutes? Yeah.
According to Lenny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Again, Zach can only speak when it's in his mind, not actually out loud, which is very interesting. Okay. No one left the opera house during the magic show, and after the incident happened, only those who had their identities cleared by the guards could leave. Missing were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown. Lenny must have been very confused when he saw them. Identify the loopholes. More loopholes, so it's gotta be something to do with this. No. Yeah, this actually throws this out the window, because if he knocked her out, wouldn't she still be down there? No, that's not the answer. Would it be this one? No. Oh, I'm only left with one.
Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Yep. Are we... Nope, we still have loopholes. So they all go to one, then. Lee claims that he headed to the... No. Linny knocked Cowell out. Cowell walked in on Linny, so the latter knocked him out with the vase, leading to the victim's death. Existing evidence indicates that when Linny returned to the tunnel, the crime had already taken place, and all Linny saw was... So, wouldn't it be Linny? No, it can't be Linny's statement.
Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
There we go. Change those three.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again. And in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
Boom. Successful refutation. Alright.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Oh, wasn't it awesome?
I mean, it would have been cooler if Zach got to say it, but whatever.
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
Nope.
That's right!
He knew absolutely nothing.
My reasoning?
The onstage equipment was tampered with.
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
How you refuted Linny's alibi initially.
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't?
No, he wasn't. Your claim is now my weapon. Relevant. Good to know. It's this one.
That's right! Linny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Linny had already entered the vent.
Correct.
The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played.
To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
I still believe it was a Fatui member. Guard's investigation report indicates that the fireworks released near the end of the show ignited and burned through the rope suspending the water tank above the stage. This caused the water tank to fall and kill Cowell in the box below. If Linny is no longer under suspicion, only the other members of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the props. Linny gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work by using a box inside a box. The idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported across via a tunnel underneath, and Linny himself would also use this tunnel to get to the other side. Having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of onstage interactions. The clothes belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown. Select any... okay. Who was the only person who could possibly have committed the crime? Halsey herself.
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along?
Oh, the hypothesis is incorrect. Oopsie.
Could there have been a third person involved? Is that really a possibility? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
This is true.
Could there have been a third
I don't think there's
person
another person.
The deceased's name is Cowell.
Cowell is the one who did it.
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious?
Correct.
The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
Okay.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Correct.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrance. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention.
Yep.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
And where did the missing Halsey go?
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well.
Maybe it was her?
No one
Is she in the
entered
vent?
or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey?
They couldn't leave.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal.
The
It
vent.
would have been tough for both people to...
No. Damn. Wait.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. It would have been tough for both people. No one entered or left the The deceased's name is Cowell.
Oh, that failed.
Halsey's clothing was in the No one entered or left the opera house.
Can I,
The
like, get rid of
deceased's name
these?
is Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? It would have been tough for both people. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrance.
No. Why are those the only 4 that are my options? It doesn't make any sense.
The deceased's name is Cowell.
Where there's an altercation in the tunnel.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash.
Yes. Where did the missing Halsey go?
The sound we heard may have come from a clash.
No. I can't put them both in the same spot.
The sound we heard may have come from... The sound we heard may have come from...
Okay, so this one would be this one. Because he didn't hear it. Right, okay, how can I prove that there was an altercation in the tunnel?
No one entered or left the The sound we heard may have come from a clash.
That would be that one too, wouldn't it? You can't use the same freaking evidence, can you? No, you can't. Where did the missing Halsey go?
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment.
No. Okay, everything's right except that last one. Leaving aside how he died, Cowell had all the means to commit the crime at his disposal. Strange noise could likely have been the sound of Cowell and Halsey struggling. And he was not in the tunnel for 1 minute. This would have given time for Cowell to bring Halsey out of the magic box in the audience stands. But according to the guard's testimony, no one entered or left the opera house, so even if he had taken her, there'd be no means of exiting. Exiting from the box would have been in full view of the audience, pretty much guaranteeing that they would be discovered.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Where's freaking Halsey?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
Right.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely.
But her clothes were taken off, so I'm starting to think that, again, as I said before, the person who actually died in the fucking box wasn't Cowell at all, it was Halsey.
And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette. Escaping
from the water tank. Wait, could it have been the water?
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
Why is that a 2?
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Hold on.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
The water.
The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
So I would have always failed without this specific evidence. That's not fucking fair. Here I was thinking it was just me.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment.
I mean, we're in the land of fairy tales. Nothing's impossible.
How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick. Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about two completely different things.
Are we really?
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
Alright, looks like it's going our way.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
Okay, well, why would he have that?
The primordial sea. The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice.
Great.
The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually true?
Yes.
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order!
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all.
It still doesn't make sense.
Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Water from the primordial sea. Okay. So, who's the prime suspect?
The
Cowell.
deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
What item did the culprit use to control the timing of the dissolution?
The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box.
Yeah, there's that. What item did the culprit use to dissolve Halsey?
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism.
Okay, what item did the culprit use to hide the mechanism behind the crime?
I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this? Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering. The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box.
I don't know this last one. What item did the culprit use to hide the mechanism? Oh wait, no, the rope.
The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank.
Okay, I have those right, they're just in the wrong order. Timing of the dissolution.
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for
uses of
the
this.
water from the primordial sea.
And then
now it seems like the hook
okay,
rope.
so
the
if
rope
it's like
that held
that,
the water.
then it's this. And then this one is to
Now
hide
it seems
the crime.
like the hook rope.
I've got. Okay, so now. What item did the culprit use to control the timing of the dissolution?
I remember there was something else within the inner.
What item did the culprit use to hide the mechanism behind the crime?
I
No, that's
remember there
incorrect.
was something else within the inner layer of that box.
Maybe it's not.
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this?
No.
Now it seems like the hook.
I thought it was this
Lynette
one.
was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something? Now it seems like
They
the
said
hook.
item. This is the item.
I remember there was.
There we go.
Ahem. It's Ace Detective Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope, and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
That's unfortunate.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Alright, so Winnie is free to go, right?
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Man, they're going
Thank
pretty
you,
damn
Your
fast.
Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
Oh.
That can't be.
Well, that doesn't help you.
Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
Yeah.
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent.
Correct.
Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now,
Man, I'm actually
as much
believing
as
this.
I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization.
How
Am
can
I right,
counter this?
Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Oh no! Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now. And we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss,
Okay.
I must ask you not to shout and to respect
Well, she's
the
screaming from
ongoing
across
legal
the hall,
proceedings.
so...
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
And voila.
Wait, what?
Sorry for the interruption.
Isn't that Halsey?
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial.
Are you effing kidding me?
I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowell. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey! No wonder you look familiar.
Oh.
So you were the thief! Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
Trial adjourned.
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
Okay, we have new evidence. No. I'm gonna refute here. Halsey dissolved. Halsey did not dissolve. No. Winnie wanted all the credit. He didn't fight. Nope. Nope. Oh, the thud.
The strange
She
sound
fell.
wasn't from a fight. It was Lily-Ann's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
Okay, we got that. The broken vase.
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lily-Ann and Cowell.
Okay. No. No. Yep, so it's this one.
Lily-Ann was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the blue, Lily-Ann panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lily-Ann had not dissolved. He did not know that Lily-Ann was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket, mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect. He tried to force Lily-Ann back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lily-Ann came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
And we're done.
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
She's just gonna leave and be like, I lost.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Nope.
Wow. Look at that. She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list.
So I wasn't completely off.
With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box, and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent.
Hooray!
While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case at least can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
That looked exactly like the thing from Star Rail. That looked like the thing from Star Rail. That looks like the pass from Star Rail.
As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
You are not going to sit here and tell me that does not look like the thing from Star Rail.
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dare to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes?
Are you the original, case perpetrator?
I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
Ooh, that sounds like a nice place.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about.
Who's your boss? Oh my. He just disintegrated. He disintegrated. He's gone.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Where nothing is found on the scene apart from liquid left behind after Von dissolved.
So, we're just going back now?
I mean, this has nothing to really do with us.
That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
What do you want?
Lenny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight.
How so?
I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past.
I guess.
Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
So what happened?
I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles, but she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has her own plans.
Right.
She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us House members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. We won't give up on defending our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
Sounds good.
Bye, Linny!
Twists of great magic, huh? Finally leave the opera house.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too? Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
I was really only trying to defend Linny.
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Why not?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
Yeah, let's go have a meal.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in!
I feel like I do have to twist your arm. That way you'll be quiet.
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right then, let's have our
Sounds
farewell
good.
meal.
Quest completed. Go to the hotel.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good.
Why does the food
People
always
in
look so good
Fontaine
in this
sure
game?
know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like.
I'm hungry
if the
now.
food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well,
Then we'll
then
give it
I'll
a
still
2-star
bring
rating.
everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
After a while of doing it.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
No, instead he freaking evaporated into thin air.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon.
Pretty much.
I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers.
That's pretty creepy.
Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Yeah, good thinking.
Valid point. I overlooked that part.
How would you overlook
I was
that?
just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep. All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
Why not?
Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then.
You're just gonna blacklist an entire freaking drink?
If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
No more Fanta.
Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
Could try walking.
Nah, that would be so... normal. You know, like you.
Wow, thanks.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia! What are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
And left her with the tab.
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
Light rain falls without reason. Hey, it's kind of what it's doing right now outside. Oh, it's really cold in here.
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl. Woo. Toodaloo.
Where am I headed to now? Back to over here.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
Oh, crap.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again? Ugh. That's kinda spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Vache? Vache.
I don't think we'll have time to come back in the morning.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water. Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
I have no control of my own body. How's an oceanid?
Vache, are you my dear Vache? No,
No.
wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
I'm sorry, who are you?
Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who has lost their form.
That makes sense.
I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim. I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me. And I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be. No, our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember. Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
I became a water being.
Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety. I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think. Farewell, then.
I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vacher, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
What the f is going on? What? He's sleeping. What the hell is going on? Robots fighting in the opera house? What the f is going on, bro? Man, this cutscene is awesome.
Demoiselle, look out!
What the hell did I miss?
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand?
Okay, but why does she want to fight us?
Quick, now's our chance!
Holy hell, that was badass. Wow. I said this is a badass choreography cutscene. And then they just hate each other, right? So they're gonna attack each other for no fucking reason. No?
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand.
Oh no, they don't hate each other.
But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you. But I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with a Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clorand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and And there was that champion duelist named Chlorine who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Thanks, Navia.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
Alrighty.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Yeah, she pretty
Well,
much did.
to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
How?
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing than she thought!
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
You came all this way to get a drink? That was her? Oh, sure.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said, that the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky.
Yeah.
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
Okay, what, was it poison? Did I drink poison?
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So, if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Huh? Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
I talked to a Oceanid.
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. He said that he heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then? Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Yep.
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh, that is important. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened?
Let's go find
Yes,
him.
thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate. Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Nope.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Where is your base? Within it? In what the hell? How the hell am I supposed to read that? Oh, it's a sewer.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, traveler.
I'd rather stay topside. But you're not gonna let me.
With the wind.
Alright, people down here as well. That I can't talk to. Useless. Nothing there. Got myself a lizard. Man, can't talk to any of them. What's the point? Oh, it's a nice sewer system. Nothing else. Potier. You need a lockpick or perhaps switched? Of Of course, don't people usually realize that they've forgotten to bring their keys only upon returning home at night? Wait, I get it. You're wondering if I'm doing something terrible here, are you? Don't worry, don't worry. I have principles and sense, and more importantly, I don't want to perform a trial standing show at the Opera House. Oh, you must have seen me playing the lyre on the streets during the day. The waters gleam, the fish they leap. Ring a bell? Now I know what you're thinking. How does this person know how to do everything? It never hurts to learn new skills, you know? Just little tricks for a little profit, and every little is a gain. Bard during the day, thief at night. Crossa, the merchant. Is that an earthquake, or am I just getting seasick? Take your pick. Garbage. She sells garbage. A doctor. Well, sounds good for your health. I'm a doctor, the legitimate kind. I've got the relevant certification and a graduation cert from the academia to boot. I used to be very poor and I had no money to support my studies or travel overseas. It was the Spina de Rosa that sponsored me. Of course, they did so on the condition that I consider returning here to work as a doctor after finishing my studies. I'd be salaried as a standard, of course, but the Spina being my employer. I thought it was a good deal and I understood what they wanted out of it, so I only asked for the most basic fees when I practiced here. Ah, treasure chest. No sunshine is needed here. The people in Flevsindre have already gotten used to such a lifestyle. We don't go up there unless it is absolutely necessary. Enough about that. Same goes for you. Stay in the sunlight more often and eat more vegetables and fruits. It's good for your health. What's set? Where should I venture next? That's right, my adventure here has been awesome. Everyone treats me well, especially the people of the Spina de Rosa. I don't really remember. One day when I woke up, I was just here. Maybe Mom and Dad abandoned me or something. I know, everyone here tells me that too. Everyone here is super friendly, and I'm living really well, even if I don't go back. I mean, I'd be totally okay staying here forever. Perhaps I should grill a few more cookies for the children, or perhaps that bowl fruit cake from the last time. That was pretty good. As long as the children like it, all is well. The adults here are very busy with work, so children often come and buy things for their families, and I bring them snacks when they do. Sometimes that girl Navia drops by too, bringing gifts of all sizes. She asks for cake pretty often too, just like a kid she is. I'm an old acquaintance of her father. Got a hand in her marksmanship too, if I do say so myself. Of course, she didn't learn it here. This place is too small. Any drawing of weapons isn't going to end well for anyone. If someone does dare cause trouble here, they will be sent away to start a new life in the ocean.
Adventuring underground is way more fun than I thought. My research had so much potential.
Hey there, friend. Want to change your life? You might find this hard to imagine, but many people in this world would love a chance to restart their lives. A little change to one's appearance can have the difficulty, and that's my specialty, see? There's a bright future ahead for this sort of research, and you look like the sort of person with an eye on the future, so would you consider sponsoring me? I'm a proper engineer from the Fontaine Research Institute, you know, well, I was, anyway. Alright, gah, it really does seem like I've got no talent for pulling in investors. But I really was an engineer at the Institute once, and it was my goal to use machines to pursue the apex of aesthetics. But an accident happened, resulting in some damage to one of my colleagues' appearances. When I returned from my stint at the Fortress of Meropide, I started living here. They told me that Lev Sindre was a bit of a gray area, and that I might be able to secure some funding here. As it turns out, that's not the case at all. The Spina de Rosa watches everyone here like hawks, you see. Uh-oh.
This is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged.
Neither did I.
Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
That's pretty unfortunate.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry
You live in a sewer,
us.
guys. You live in a effing sewer.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
You're rugrats at best.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Where the hell did he go? Get your father back in on this shit and get all your people out of this fucking sewer.
Your father... He was the previous boss of Spina
Oh,
di
was. He's
Rosula,
dead.
right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
It's kind of odd.
The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If
That's a
only
spirit,
he'd been
Nadia.
more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Truth seekers away.
Demoiselle, please. If there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, If Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a
Maybe
new
we need to
leaf.
change their tune then.
But they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
That's disgusting.
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
Oh, that's why they hate each other.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him?
Might as well have been.
Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Miss Clorand has always placed a great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena... there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
And then he died.
Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
No, you're fine.
Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah! Paimon's feet.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Get some sleep in the sewers. Yeah, that's comfortable. Sounds like a comfortable night. Oh, found a chest.
If we bury it, maybe it'll spring back to life.
I have no idea who this guy is. Can't even talk to him. Ruvia. Oh, there's any legal service I can provide? Well, I wish I could have become a champion duelist, but that's not happening in this life, I reckon. I can't fight, like I really can't. I'm the type who can knock herself on the head with a sheathed sword. But there's a talent I do have that's searching. As long as the case details are clear, I can quickly find all the relevant legal causes. To be precise, I do consultancy on how to escape the law. The goal is to let my clients avoid run-ins with champion duelists and avoid entering the theater. Except to enjoy performances, that is. This is not hard to do. All illegal systems have their flaws, and I know them as well as I do the holes in my socks. Speaking of that, I should probably spend some more to get a pair of new ones.
If you want to outrun the law, you need to know how it works.
With the wind.
I will be back momentarily. I'm going to take probably a 10 to 15
Wanna come
minute
over for tea?
and then I will set up another stream. But for now, I'm done. But I'll be back shortly. To start up another stream. It's my goal, because I'm going to push finishing all of what Fontaine has to offer today. That's my goal.
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl.